Hey, welcome back to the MonsterVerse series. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the 2019 movie Godzilla King of the Monsters. In the 2019 installment of the MonsterVerse, we're thrown into a world of titans in a way we haven't seen in previous movies from this franchise. And it eventually becomes a battle for supremacy and dominance between our big guy Godzilla and a new creepy, ambitious, and pretty aggressive titan. The movie is set 5 years after the events of Godzilla, and the world is still reeling from the revelation of giant monsters called Titans. And Monarch, the organization dedicated to studying these creatures, stays on high alert, while also protecting the world against attacks. In the first scene, we see Dr. Emma Russell, a paleobiologist working for Monarch, witnessing the birth of Mothra, a giant moth larva. With the Orca, a device that can communicate with Titans, Dr. Russell manages to calm raging Mothra. Interestingly, this first scene sets the tempo and establishes the central theme of the movie, the complex human relationship with the Titans. This is perfectly shown in how the Doctor oversees the childbirth of an actual Titan. However, this thrilling moment is interrupted by a group of eco-terrorists led by Alan Jonah. These terrorists destroy Monarch's facility and then kidnap Dr. Russell and her daughter Madison. He also makes sure she holds the Orca with her, planning to use this to his own advantage. While the attack happens, Mothra manages to escape and takes cover under a nearby waterfall. While the subject of balance has been constantly depicted in the MonsterVerse, this movie takes a closer look at our methods. Jonah is on the side of the extremist, a group which believes that these monsters are the key to reversing the atrocious impacts of humans on the environment. But not everyone is on this side. Monarch scientist Dr. Ishiro Serizawa, who also appears in the 2014 Godzilla movie, and Vivian Graham approach former employee Dr. Mark Russell, Emma's ex-husband and Madison's father, for help. This Monarch team informs Mark about the situation, but while they need his help, they also need the help of Godzilla, who they have contained for a while. Mark instantly says no to helping them, because he still blames Godzilla for the death of his son Andrew. However, he still couldn't give up on his daughter and ex-wife, so after some reluctance, he finally agreed. Now free, Godzilla swims to Antarctica, and the Monarch follows. In Antarctica, Jonah and Dr. Emma develop an unlikely friendship, and they believe that to restore balance to the planet, they have to free Monster Zero, or King Ghidorah, a three-headed titan. As they try to communicate with this monster, the Monarch team attacks, leaving the three-headed beast in solid ice. Mark attempts to rescue his daughter, but just before she reaches him, Emma grabs a detonator and blows everything up, instantly releasing the monster. King Ghidorah naturally turns out to be one big and hostile monster who destroys everything in its path. He slaughters Monarch's G-Team, battles Godzilla, and devours Graham before escaping. Monarch at this point realizes that Emma has joined the dark side. Escaping with Jonah and his team after a crazy fight between Godzilla and Ghidorah, Emma eventually contacts Monarch and argues that the Titans must be awakened to heal the Earth from the human impact on the environment, and even points to a Monarch research that indicates that Titans can terraform and replenish ecosystems. Emma's got a point, but she was getting something fundamentally wrong. The role of humans as destroyers didn't essentially mean they couldn't also be a part of its repair, and with the release of a monster like Ghidorah, the planet was in more danger than ever. Still adamant, Madison has no choice but to beg her mother to reconsider. However, the Doctor travels to Mexico with Jonah, where they awaken another monster, Rodan, the fire demon. Monarch arrives to attack and kill Rodan, but their helicopters are no match for the winged monster. It's only when Ghidorah arrives that the battle becomes fair. But before these two can fight it out, Godzilla reappears to finish its previous fight. Even though Godzilla cuts off one head of Ghidorah and Monarch drops a massive bomb, the monster manages to escape, but not before establishing himself as the Alpha Titan and calling several other Titans to follow him. At this point, the theme of dominance and supremacy takes on an advanced shape. It's not just a human versus monster dynamic, but it's also about the Titans fighting for supremacy amongst themselves. Rodan, a formidable volcanic pterosaur titan, is easily subdued by King Ghidorah, an alien titan with 3 heads, and this instantly highlights Ghidorah as the dominant beast. Rodan's submissive stance represents its acknowledgement of Ghidorah's superiority and survival instinct, thereby reflecting the primal hierarchy among titans. This mirrors the nature of humans to also yield to overwhelming forces for survival, as we also saw with King Kong and Godzilla. The scene also underscores the struggle for dominance and sets the stage for Godzilla's ultimate confrontation with Ghidorah. Right after the explosion set by Monarch, Godzilla is weakened, and in a very surprising twist, Mothra appears from behind a waterfall and cares for him. The team theorizes that Mothra is the queen of the monsters, and an old text confirms that Ghidorah should be feared, as he used to be one of the fiercest titans. This revelation significantly alters the film's perspective on environmental catastrophe. Initially, characters like Emma Russell believed the Titans were a natural response to heal the Earth from human damage. King Ghidorah, however, flips this concept on its head, as being an alien Titan suggests that his motivations are in no way tied to Earth's natural order. Godzilla is powered back to its former self after a nuke gives it the charge it needs. But this wouldn't be possible without Dr. Serizawa, who sacrifices himself to detonate the nuke that revives Godzilla. This again reflects the emotional and sensitive side of humanity, the choice to satisfy your life for the survival of many others. At this point, Emma realizes that Ghidorah's reign is far more destructive for humanity than she initially thought. She tries to convince Jonah to back off from the plan, but he refuses, and this forces Madison to steal from the team. Madison attempts to lure Ghidorah and all the other Titans to Fenway Park, and this eventually results in this epic battle between Godzilla and Ghidorah. Again, the fight reflects the theme of dominance as Godzilla and Ghidorah are locked in a struggle for alpha status, with the fate of the planet hanging in the balance. With Godzilla being weakened against Ghidorah, Mothra makes a heroic sacrifice to help Godzilla, but is shot down by the 3-headed beast in revenge. Emma redeems herself by distracting Ghidorah to Godzilla's favor, who in turn destroys the beast and takes charge as the alpha monster. The reunion between Mark and Madison amidst the chaos injects a much-needed dose of humanity into the monster spectacle. Emma's choice to stay behind and distract Ghidorah is a true act of redemption, showcasing her willingness to protect her family and humanity at a great personal cost. Eventually, Godzilla's victory and subsequent rise as the only Alpha Titan reinforce the established hierarchy among them. But at the end of it all, the film leaves the question of coexistence still unanswered. Can humanity learn to live side by side with these dominant creatures, or will their power pose a constant threat of destruction? Godzilla, King of the Monsters, also expands and builds on the MonsterVerse lore and introduces other titans beyond Godzilla, including Mothra, Rodan, and the villainous King Ghidorah. This helps to establish a richer ecosystem of ancient creatures with unique powers and their potential roles within the planet. Also, Monarch takes a more central role, delving deeper into their efforts to understand and potentially coexist with the Titans. And this film is a perfect reminder of the various ethical complexities humanity will face. In addition, following his role as protector in the first film, Godzilla's position as an Alpha Titan is solidified. But when it comes to his long-term intentions, things are a little bit unclear. But all of that just adds a little more intrigue to the MonsterVerse. This is the third video of a 4-part MonsterVerse series, and we explore the hidden themes, subjects, myths, and philosophy behind these movies. Do you think we missed out on something very important? Let us know in the comment section. If you also haven't seen any of the MonsterVerse movies, this is the time to get started, so we can have even better conversations. See you in the next one.